Okay, this is our simulation page. As you can see, in this case, we are simulating a senior product manager role. So we want to test a person that is a product manager on how capable she is to understand the problems of a customer and how she can come up with a solution, as any product manager would do, to solve that problems. And so there is context about MedSoftware. MedSoftware, very quickly, is a software as a service solution based in the US. It's a large organization, mostly serving hospitals. And these hospitals are using their software as a CRM to manage everything related to patients, right? So everything that is the workflow, the communications, the notifications, what kind of exams or interventions they need, and so on and so forth. And of course, I'm also looking at the number of stakeholders that as a senior product manager I need to interact with. And so as you can see, this is completely made up, but all of them are somehow, potential stakeholders that you would find in this environment. So a general counsel at an hospital, a patient, and then the head of customer support at the St. Louis Hospital in Chicago. So with that being said, let me show you how it works. I'm gonna start the simulation, and Anthropos tells me that I need to act as a senior product manager. I need to interview three stakeholders via email in this case, because right now we support only email, but more adapters, as we call them, will come down the road. And at the same time, I need to basically understand what is the problem that these people are having using our software, and what is a potential solution that I can come up with, ideally one that uses AI. Why AI? Because the board at MedSoftware is basically pushing the management team to come up with more innovation. And one of the things that they think the company should do is actually implementing AI inside their solution, their software solution. How does it work? I can basically start talking to these people. I can send them an email, or I can interact via this interface. And at the end of it, once I figure out what needs to be done and the solution that I want to build, I can actually talk to David Lamena, who is my CPO at MedSoftware, is my boss. And of course, David will be able to guide me and tell me exactly what's going on. Now, what I want to show you is that if I go to my Gmail, my email address, I actually got an email from David that tells me that I need to start focusing on this task. And it also tells me that I need to reach out to these three people, and it gives me their email. So that the first one that I can reach out to is Teresa. Again, she's the head of customer support at St. Louis. And so what I can say is like information about that software. Hey, Teresa, this is Stefano. Can you describe to me what you think we could improve at MedSoftware, your use case? And I can simply send this as an email. So this is exactly what I would do if I was inside my organization at MedSoftware and I was really working on this. And of course, I can interact right now with the simulation via email, as I said, or I can look at all of this from our interface. So if I go on message history, I will see my message, and then it will take a few minutes for Therese to reply. There you go. And of course, I got the same email here. So she basically replied to me and she said, thanks for reaching out. I appreciate your interest in hearing about our experience with MedSoftware. To be honest, my team and I are feeling overwhelmed with the number of tickets we receive on a daily basis, and we are understaffed and it's difficult to manage the work. So basically, she's describing what are the issues that she's experiencing with our team using MedSoftware. What I can do is basically double down on this conversation. So like I would do if I was a real product manager, I would be like, can you give me an example of these tickets? Because of course, I want to see exactly what she's talking about. And so the conversation will continue. She's gonna come back to me with more information. And of course, it's needless to say, but I could do anything here. I could, ask any type of question to Teresa. I could, suggest things. I could try to start a conversation like, would you do this yourself? Like, what are solutions that you would propose, and so on and so forth. And the same thing is basically something that I can do with Katia. She's a patient, so completely different story, and with Brad, right? And of course, we didn't have time here to read the simulation and read the use case. But of course, there are specific things that these people are trying to achieve on their own department or their own case. And so as a product manager, I need to talk to all of them. Now, just to speed things up, let's suppose that I talked to all these people, I interacted with them, and I basically came up with a pretty good solution. So this is something that, of course, I put together here, where like any product manager, I want to go back to my boss and say, look, these are the problems that I identified, and these are the opportunities. So I talked to these stakeholders. I think, that this is a solution. Of course, they receive a ton of tickets, so we could use some automation. And at the same time, it looks like, there are a lot of data that are distributed, but there is no way for other departments to look at this data in a centralized way. Plus, patients are looking at our software and saying, well, this is not really good software because, we're missing notifications, so on and so forth. Plus, I worked on a solution. I basically want to impress my boss, and I said, well, I could think about, three things that I would do. I would automatically categorize tickets, and of course, we can use AI for that. I can automatically scan the content of these tickets and try to understand if this is something that needs to be expedited or if it's something that can actually be replied automatically. And last but not least, I can basically come out with a single view inside MedSoftware, putting together all these data, again, using AI, using GPT, for example. And so I can actually provide the same visualization of each case to all the departments that are using MedSoftware. And of course, I saved this document as a doc. I could have done that with a PDF. And what I'm going to do is writing back to my boss and say, hey, David, this is what I think we should be doing. Let me know what you think. You I'm gonna attach the result and send a message. So this is exactly what I would do with my boss if we were working on two different offices, or of course, if we were working on a normal collaboration. So now if I refresh, okay, you can see that the simulation is ended and I can go to results, and I passed the simulation because I put together quite a good task. But in addition to that, it also tells me the areas and the score for each single area, giving me also an understanding of what I've done right and what I've done wrong. So for example, impact assessment, it tells me something like, however, specific estimates or metrics for customer increased consideration are not provided, right? So that's something that clearly I should have done. And that was part of the initial assessment. What else? Let me see here. Proposed solution leverages AI technology, specifically GPT, to automate ticket categorization. It takes advantage of the benefits of AI to solve the identified problem effectively. And of course, all of this is something that we've built based on our own score system. Of course, we could build this across a variety of skills or across a variety of things that we want to test in this simulation. But this is pretty useful also for people that want to understand what they can improve, especially if they didn't pass simulation and they need to try this again. Thank you.